now it's time for a Dream Wyrm. Uh, Hang on, gotta switch over. Is it gonna load? There we go. Does it sound okay? Dream Wyrm. So, I actually have absolutely no idea what this is about, other than I see two handsome dragon-looking daddies on the screen. Oh, that was me right there. I have that like doubled up right there since it doesn't quite fit the whole screen. So let's see what Venny here, who's the developer in chat, has in store for us. Dragon Daddy, the barista Dragon Daddy recently. Oh, yeah, I know. So I know this wasn't written by you, but this was put together, and I think that's as much of a artistic talent as writing it. So actually, I don't think I can actually go back to the menu. Who was the name of the writer? Cirrus. Cirrus? Or is it Cryrus? Cryrus? Well, let's see what they have in store for us with this story. I stood at the door before the only tavern in town. The cold, damp weather had driven most sensible people inside already. The sound of Ray Recorus voices poured out from an open window. There was a long pause. There was a long, short pause that seemed to drag on for ages before I slowly exhaled. That's that's a weird way of phrasing it. There was a short pause, but it was long. A couple of typos, but hey, it was put together in 2 days, so don't mind those. That's okay. Carefully opening the door, I burst my way into the bar. Also, I tend to not read things out loud properly as they're written. Sometimes my mind just puts in will make up words or put it in or fill in words too, or just decide that I'm gonna say substitute words at random. Actually, my husband's in chat. He can attest to how kind of bizarre things when I'll say in conversations. The bubble of cold air that I brought in, causing the others to curl away from my entrance. Actually, I notice it's not the enter button. I carefully picked my way through the tables of drinking dragons, each fully absorbed in their joint revelry. Okay, spacebar. One of them kept learning his. I think it's leaning. Oh no, leaning. That's my bad. One of them kept leaning his chair further and further back as he laughed hysterically at something I'm sure must have been funny, before falling onto the floor in front of me. Before I could react, He noticed me and stopped his cackling, giving a respectful nod before picking himself out of my way. That said, this is mostly a test run for ideas I had, but I have been fortunate that I've been given the go-ahead by the artist who modeled the adult spiral model. So I'm probably going to be expanding this into a full side. Ooh, that's cool. Now, I like looking at people's like proof of concepts and just work in progress, because I love seeing the development of just how like just like the evolution of like working idea, seeing what works, what doesn't work, tweaking, and then just kind of seeing from where it starts to like what the final product is. Like I enjoy like seeing these, or even like looking in through like a game's like data and just like looking at placeholders and what kind of like significance. Sometimes they're just insignificant placeholders, sometimes they're like placeholders that might have personal references to the devs, or just like maybe ideas that were once going to be implemented but weren't for whatever reason. I just like kind of looking at those creative processes. Alright, continuing on. Before I could react, he noticed me and stopped his... Oh, yeah, I read this before moving out of the way. Nestor. Oh, thank you. I gave him a glance as I passed, trying to contain a snicker. With a sigh, I sat myself at the empty bar, looking around for the barkeep. Actually, yeah, I just realized I should probably change my little streaming thing. I always forget to change titles in games and stuff. This is no longer a rerun. Done. I don't know if that resends like notifications out either too. After a painful long minute wait, a shout rang from the tables, and I turned to see Gavin, the tavern's owner and barkeep, come out from a side room with a barrel of ale twice the size a sheep held on his shoulder with one arm. So I've never played in... So this is a... so this is a Spyro like fan game. It's like because I feel like I've seen the character designs before. I've never played the Spyro the Dragon outside of like the PlayStation 1 demo at stores, but I feel like I have seen the name Gavin before in relation to like a blue dragon from many Rule 34. I looked in awe as he strutted over to one of the rowdier tables and deftly began filling each of their mugs, making a show of how easily he manipulated the massive barrel. As he finished, his eyes locked on me and gave me a hearty wave. I awkwardly waved back, hoping my blush didn't show through my scales. Oh hey, that's neat. I like the speaking effects. Nestor! It's been a bit since I've seen you down here. I've missed your green butt. So, what brings an important dragon like you here to such a rough establishment? He said as he finished setting the cast down behind the counter and walking over. Just happened to be passing through the area on some official business. I have no idea how any of these characters are supposed to sound too. I said as casually as I could. Well, it's a pleasure to be your host this evening, sir. Gavin, just Nestor, please. I'm just a pencil pusher, not a king. Yeah, but it's fun messing with you. So, Nestor, you want to order something or just chat? Oh, just whatever they are having. They all have fairly deep voices. Nestor is very regal-like. I sort of got the impression with his outfit, too. I gestured over at the table Gavin just finished serving. What? After being stuck out in the cold all day for work? No. A dragon like you deserves something a bit more refined. You really don't need to feel obligated. I started to say, but he was already pulling a dozen different bottles from the shelf behind him. There's a certain casual carelessness that comes with true mastery over an exercise. You don't have to measure out each movement or fret about being precise. You know where you can afford to let loose and just let the motions flow naturally. Gavin had that quality in spades. He tosses various glasses and drinks over about haphazardly, but they always end up in the right places. His body was relaxed, even as his arms and tails flashed around the bar. Oh, that's mug look. I saw him grinning to himself as he worked, and I got the distinct impression that he was showing off to me. He finally slid the full jug of my complicated cocktail over to me with a flick of his tail. I clapped in response. Thank you. But the real test is when you taste it, Gavin said, giving a mock brow. I gave the mixture a long sip, savoring the look of anticipation on Gavin's face. It's good. I gasped honestly. I mean, really good. Well, no need to act so surprised. He laughed as I sputtered in response. You're too easy to fluster, Nestor. You need to get away from all the busybodies and stuffiness and relax here in the real world more. Sometimes I bring the stuffiness with me. I groaned. Well, I can think of a few ways to help loosen you up, Gavin said with a devilish grin on his face. Really? Like what? I asked genuinely, completely missing the innuendo. Well, you could, try some stretches, or meeting some more people outside of work, or, It was at that moment I realized my mistake and immediately wanted to kick myself. A call came from another table for more booze, and Gavin quickly excused himself. No problem. I tried to hide my frustration as he walked away. I didn't want to end on the note that I didn't know how to salvage the conversation. My mood soured as I sipped my beer for a minute while he worked his way over through the tables. The 1 minute became 5, then 10. He was laughing, chatting with a trio of dream weavers. Of course he was. That was his job. I was sure there was something special. Was I so sure there was something special about us? Was he only entertaining a customer? Glancing back at the Dreamweaver trio, he certainly seemed to be having an easier time chatting it up with them. I tried to take another drink, but I realized I was out. A few minutes later, he came back. Oh, you're still here? I couldn't tell if it was annoyance or excitement I felt in his voice. Yeah, I thought I might grab another before I head out. Gavin began working on my second drink. So, how is the pencil pushing going? The question sounded forced, like he needed something to say to break the ice. Fine enough. I've been kept busy with the aftermath after the whole nasty incident. And you? The bar's been doing fine. Plenty of people coming to celebrate things getting back to normal. That's good, that's good. Yeah. It wasn't working. The awkwardness was still there, hanging behind each other's words. Nothing seemed natural or spontaneous anymore like it had been earlier. Or like when he was with the other customers. Nasty weather today. Oh yeah, it's awful. It's lucky I got so many people here tonight. Yeah, I bet. There was a long pause with nothing but awkward silence between us. Another call for Gavin's services rang out. As he started to turn, I touched his hand and asked him what was on his mind. Gavin, wait, just a minute. Ganasty is the villain in the game they're from. Okay. Another missed opportunity for yeah. Yeah, I kind of thought about that too. It's like Ganasty and nasty weather joke. Gavin, wait, just a minute. I stopped trying to be suave and I just said what I've been feeling since I came out to the tavern today. Listen, even if it was a bit awkward, it was really nice meeting up with you again. So maybe we could try making time to do this sometime soon? To do something? My entire body tensed up like a spring. Yes, sounds great. I'll be flying around Sunny Flight tomorrow morning. You want to join? Gavin gleamed after the proposition. I relaxed into my seat and returned his smile. I would love to. Great. Honestly, I was worried that I screwed things up earlier. Gavin's speech was cut short by the shouts coming from the table he had ignored. Yo, Gavin! It's been a minute! Still waiting here! With a curse, Gavin heaved his ale barrel over his shoulder. Sorry, gotta go handle that. Meet there tomorrow an hour after sunrise? I'll be there. I watched intently as Gavin headed back towards the waiting table. I left the tavern. Its lingering warmth deflected the cold air's bite. I beamed, feeling oddly accomplished and still nervous for tomorrow. But it was a good type of nervous now. To be continued. Okay. So that is it. That was cute. I mean, who wouldn't date this big dude right here? These two have like really cute designs too. All right, so that does it. They're all stupidly hot. Such a waste of potential. Yeah, that is something. Like I didn't pick up the Spyro games just because I have such a huge backlog of games. But like, wow, just from everything I've seen, why are all the dragons just hot? Yeah, I think they only have like one line characters and their entire personality is just their appearances, essentially just like their outfits and stuff.